one's hot. Welcome back to Eat, Read, Sleep, guys. Happy holidays. This is our holiday special episode of Eat, Read, Sleep, where we are doing a rendition of Hot Ones.
Yes, so if you guys follow the YouTube and the internet world a lot, Hot Ones is one of the more popular YouTube shows that are out there. It's Sean Evans. He interviews a lot of famous celebrities on there. They eat spicy wings, and as it progresses, it gets spicier and spicier. I am a huge fan of Hot Ones, so I'm very excited for what we're going to be doing today. And we're going to start from the not so spicy sauce to the more severe ones over there. And Kalina has never tried it, so this will be exciting as well.
Severe is giving me a bit of anxiety right now. Yes. I've not done Hot Ones. I hear that you've done it a couple of times, like your own rendition, and I've got other friends who have done it too, and I have yet to do it myself, so I'm actually quite nervous today. Yes. So let's get started, you guys. Today I have with me Tapas, an aspiring filmmaker and a stoic geek.
Yes, and today I have Kalina, who is an avid cook and loves to yell at me whenever she gets a chance. So you guys
deserving.
All right, so let's go over the sauces first. We have sriracha, the OG. We have a pineapple habanero sauce. Habanero, yep. Bravado spices, black garlic with Carolina Reaper, which is one of the spiciest peppers in the world. We have the bomb, which is the infamous da bomb. And then we have the Hot Ones, the last dab, which is their spiciest sauce. But as someone who has done it multiple times, I would say this is definitely the one that's going to make us cry.
It's hotter than this one?
In terms of spice level, this one is hotter in terms of capsaicin. But this one tastes a lot spicier. This one tastes...
Is that because this has already killed all of your taste buds?
Pretty much,
so
yeah.
By the time
you get to that, you're like, oh,
you can't even taste it anymore?
Yep.
That's when we switched it.
No, we're going to do it the right way. And then in terms of to help with bring down the heat, we're gonna do some oat milk if needed.
Yes.
We got a milkshake, which I will definitely need.
I've got my peppermint.
I'm a cookies and cream kind of guy.
Peppermint vanilla milkshake.
Yeah. And then water, which from watching the show, I would always say water is not advisable, but just in case you need it, let's go for it.
Okay.
All right, and then we're gonna ask each other questions back and forth. And as again, like the show goes on, as it gets spicier, the questions get even more controversial. So I'm excited to ask you some of these questions.
And we don't know each other's questions, so.
Yes, so let me start off. All right,
just grab one.
Little sriracha.
And even though I am the chef, yes, Tapas was the one that was mixing the sauce today, so I am, I believe that you mix them evenly, right?
Yes. Which book have we reviewed positively, but deep down you secretly hated?
Oh man. Okay, I would say in the moment, Sapiens. Although I loved recording our video because we had to put our fun spin on it, it was probably our milestone video in terms of making it funny and making us versus doing what the book calls for. So I love the making of the video, and I loved how we were able to extract the highlights of the book to make it fun for our viewers to watch and listen to if they've never read the book.
Yes.
I wish someone had made that summary for me so I didn't actually have to read it. It's quite dry and long. Some parts were interesting, but it was like I had to beat myself over the head to try to get through to it. I knew it was such a popular book. I knew it was a book that everyone was like, it was just so, yes, this is the book. It's so important. And I was like, okay, let me figure out how to get to that point. Secret, you guys, I didn't read The Last Revolution.
Oh, it's scientific.
I could not get through it. Once we got to that last revolution, I had to find a lot of summaries on my own to get that part up. So I remember that. Didn't finish that book. But to I would say to be fair, I actually have interviewed a lot of people who have read this book, and I'll correct it, to have started this book, because I actually haven't met anyone who's finished the entire book. Besides you.
I enjoyed the heck out of that.
And I am a history buff. That one was just, it was just a little too heavy for me.
No, I thoroughly enjoyed that book very much. You're right though. it is a book as you're reading it, and especially for us, we put ourselves on a deadline. So for us to read the book in a certain amount of time, we're just like, okay, just let's get through it, let's get through it. Whereas a lot of times when we're reading it for just as a hobby, we can probably enjoy it more. Because that book will probably take about, I don't know, for me, it will probably take about a year to read.
It's a very dense book.
Yeah, so it probably take me about a year to read.
And we gave ourselves like 1 week.
2 weeks, yeah, 2 weeks. So I can totally see why that was. I'm like, what the heck?
Oh.
Okay.
But I will say, the content itself is very important.
Yes.
And there are a lot of things in it that I reference back in daily life. So it is a very useful book. I just did enjoy reading it.
All right.
All right.
Next wing, we got the pineapple habanero.
Okay, but I didn't finish my wing yet. Like, what's the rule on that?
It's how much you want to eat. So if you're good with that, then you're good.
Because I didn't eat breakfast, so I'm starving.
Yeah, go for it. You probably want to enjoy these first few wings before we get onto the later ones.
All right, let's do it. Second sauce is
pineapple habanero.
Okay. Ooh, that tastes really good.
Mm-hmm.
It has a nice flavor to it. I'm a huge fan of habaneros because it has a very distinct spice.
Like almost kind of fruity.
I like it. Okay. You ready for your question?
Yes.
What book elicited a strong emotion from you? And it could be any emotion. Love, hatred, inspiration, anger, rage, and emotion.
I think the book for me, probably Discipline is Destiny.
Okay.
And it's not a recency bias. No. This was a very positive thing. So it's not a recency bias. That's the most recent book that we reviewed.
Okay.
But the reason why I say that is because it was one of those things where, like, yeah, we're doing this. I didn't feel like I was tapping into my full potential.
Okay.
And a lot of that is because I was not disciplined in what I was doing. I was admiring a lot of things. I would look at things and say, hey, we're not gonna be able to get that far. And I was just kind of in this kind of zone where I didn't want to improve. And I think a lot of it was because my discipline was not quite there.
Okay.
So when I read that book, and again, Ryan Holiday is very, very straightforward with his message. I definitely felt like, okay, yes, this is what exactly I needed. And I kind of put the book down and I was like, oh, I gotta change my life around. I'm not on the right path. I need to do all these things differently. So I was very much like, let me just go tackle this. And I definitely have felt differently since I read it.
Yeah.
I keep reminding myself a lot of the stuff that you talk about where, like, you know, you want to wake up early, you want to make sure you're controlling your body and your body's not controlling you. You control your emotions and vice versa. So I took that. That was one that was just like, yes, I needed to hear this. So that was for me.
I definitely have seen that change in you.
Yeah.
And I actually did see when right before that happened as well. Like, you got into this really quiet, almost dark spot. And then you read the book, and I think you self-reflected, and I could tell there were a couple of days where you were really quiet. And then after that, I think you figured out what it was that you wanted to do. So, man, that's what I love about books, you guys. Like, it just comes to you when you really need it, and it can profoundly change your life. All
right, next hot sauce. I feel like from this wing to this one is kind of a steeper one because we're going into Carolina Reaper, which is the spiciest pepper in the world.
I think I'm a pro right now because I don't feel anything at all.
Oh, okay. Oh, this is just like the
Am I
real
gonna
show.
regret my words?
There's always guests in that show where they're like, oh, I don't feel anything. Are you guys sure it's the real sauces? And then they get to the later ones, you're like, oh.
Okay.
Are you ready?
So this is black garlic, Carolina Reaper.
Yes.
Okay, so tell me about Carolina Reaper because I don't know.
So it is the spiciest pepper. I believe there's one that's spicier now, which is called Pepper X, I believe.
Okay.
And it's just there. Apparently Carolina Reaper does taste good versus some of the other ones, but it is on the capsaicin level is the highest.
Child's play, guys.
Child's play, guys.
Child's play.
We need to add more on top.
How's the feeling for you?
I'm feeling it. I have to go with my ranch. My question for you is, who is your least favorite author and why is it Ryan Holiday?
Okay, to be fair, he's not my least favorite author.
So, Ryan Holiday is my favorite author. And she absolutely cannot read his books.
I adore Ryan Holiday.
Okay.
Follow him on Instagram. I think his message as a Stoic, studying Stoic philosophers, is very, very inspirational.
Mhm.
I watch his stuff. I just can't read his damn books. Like, they're so blah. It's literally just checklists
Yes.
of what you need to know. It's not even a book. It is the world's longest checklist in the entire world.
But he does a good job of presenting examples.
No, he chooses like 2 examples
Throughout
per
the
book
book.
and uses that same example.
Yeah.
And a lot of, especially in Courage is Calling, the examples I felt like were very biased examples.
Yeah.
He didn't choose a variety of examples that showed different different demographics, different classes, things like that, that would relate to people.
Mhm.
So I remember when we read Courage is Calling, we had gone, it was the same time that I took a family camping trip. And my husband was like, "You've been reading that book for like 2 weeks now. You must not like this book because you're on the exact same place we were like 10 days ago before this trip." And I was like, yeah, it's a really hard read. Like, I grew up with fiction books, and so I love the fantastical, the beauty of literature and the imagination of something. And I understand nonfiction and fiction books are written very differently, but even like Simon Sinek books, I can at least paint a picture and see. With Ryan Holiday, it's just very bland for me.
Comparing the 2 authors, right? So I'm going to defend my favorite author, Ryan Holiday. So comparing 2 authors, Simon Sinek's book, right? We read those, I'm a big Simon Sinek fan as well.
Right.
Excellent speaker, great books.
Yeah.
But his books are literally his title. You read his title of the book, and you know the whole book. And we read Start With Why, and the entire time we're just like, okay, start with why. Start with why. Oh, okay. Chapter 10. Start with why.
Yes.
It's like, Ryan Holiday takes you through a journey of someone's life. So like
he
Queen
doesn't.
Elizabeth, I know Babe Ruth, you know, all these amazing figures, Lou Gehrig, all the amazing, and we get to learn about how they were Stoics and how they were able to like discipline their life, and he does it in a much more grander scale because they're obviously well-known people, right? And you want to be able to say, hey, the greatness that they come from is not because they had some supernatural ability. They were natural Stoics who got through the struggle. So
he never argues with me on anything except for when it comes to Ryan Holiday.
yes. Because, you know, I've always felt like, you know, the way you like to read books, like Think Like a Monk is one of your favorites.
Yes, I love that one.
And you're right, it's a very fantastical, like this like spiritual journey you go on. Whereas I like books that are like Sapiens and, you know, Ryan Holiday, like, here's a message, here you go, let's get on with our lives, let's keep going, versus like,
I got it. You like boring books.
I like more critical and straight to the point books. And
You like to the point, and that's how you've always been
Yes.
with working, right? Like, don't fill it with fluff.
Yeah.
Don't
Just get
color
in there
it.
and just figure it
tell
out.
me what I need to know.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It smells very what's that aftertaste? It's not as good
Yes. Oh.
because you put a lot of sauce there. Look at that. Oh, I feel this one.
Ooh.
I like to think generally that I have a high tolerance for spicy foods. This is spicy. The aftertaste is
Even worse.
kicking in. All right. Keep going.
Your question.
Okay. Whew. That one's hot.
Ah.
You got me there. Tearing up now. Okay. Donate, borrow, bookshelf. So pick a book to donate, book to borrow, book that you keep on your bookshelf.
You gonna give me books to donate, borrow, bookshelf?
No, I can't think right now.
That's the whole premise of Marry, F, Kill.
Okay.
You give 3 options.
Okay. I can't even think of 3 books right now. Don't Give an F.
Subtle Art.
Subtle Art.
Let's rewind to the
So
second sauce where she says,
I'm a
"Oh,
pro.
it's not bad at all."
I think I'm a pro right now because I don't feel anything at all.
Oh, okay. Oh,
It's like on my tongue. Okay, subtle art,
Okay.
alchemist, and are we taking just books we've read?
Yeah.
Okay, courage.
subtle art, alchemist, and courage.
Holy.
Okay, just because it holds a very special place in my heart. I'm gonna surprise you with this.
Borrow a bookshelf.
So I will donate.
My
Courage.
nose is running. You'll
Courage.
donate courage?
Yes.
Wow. I would not have guessed that.
Borrow alchemist.
Okay.
And bookshelf subtle art. The reason why I say subtle art because that book has a very special place for me. It was the first book that I actually ever read end to end.
Mhm.
The first book in my life. So through all of high school, everything was Spark Notes. I would never read anything. And some of the books that we did, and then I think that was the other book. That was the first book that I read when I was, I think, in college and pharmacy school. And I was like, it was such a life changer because it was a wake up call I needed at the time. That was that person that was very much a people pleaser. And I still am to this day a little bit, but I was much worse, I think, before. And that book kind of helped me go through that stage where I was like, you know what? You shouldn't give an F about anything. Just go for what you need to do. Go for your goals. And so that's why for me, it just holds a very special place in my heart because I was just like, that book was...
I'm so sorry.
This is the raw emotion. I love it. You know, so I was preparing these, right? I was preparing these wings. And I literally just put some of this sauce in the bowl to mix the wing. And I got a whiff of it. And I was already like, you know, like having this, like the runny nose and everything.
I can't
And
see.
she was like, haha, Tapas, are you okay? Like, so, like, I'm like, just you wait.
Correction, I do not sound like that.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what it sounded like to me. She's like, are you okay? What's wrong with you? Are you okay? And I was like, dude, trust me, when you get to it. It's the last dab. And yeah, she put an extra little bit on top of the wing. And they bite off of that. That's the tradition that they have. And that was started by Machine Gun Kelly, who I'm not a big fan of, but he started a very good tradition. So I just put a very small amount.
I would like to point out that each round, Tapas picked the wing first. So, I call uneven distribution.
I'm just very strategic about what we do, please.
Must I, Dad?
You don't have to if you don't want to, but...
Oh my god, I can smell it.
Yeah, so this one is about over 1 million Scoville units.
I don't know that.
So this actually has the Pepper X, which is the new spiciest pepper, actually. So, oh, even better.
Now I feel it in my stomach. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
mostly in my tongue before, and now it's in my stomach.
You're not
so.
lactose intolerant, are you? Because we just had a huge milkshake.
I am not.
Okay.
But I don't know what's gonna happen to me after this.
All right, you ready?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Ready.
This is a slow. It tastes good, but it's a slow burn.
It would not taste good. It tastes like bland mustard.
We went through the whole process of the spicy sauces. Started with sriracha, ending with the last tab. So as we're going through this heat, and again, slow burn.
Hotter
Creep up.
sauce. Hotter questions, right?
Yes, so it's gonna creep
Alright.
up on you a little bit.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on people who say they don't like to read?
Oh!
So we are of course, we're eat, read, sleep, but
Well,
we
you
see
didn't
these
put me
people.
out there like that, huh?
Hopefully you don't get canceled for this, but
You know, I don't think that's a fair question, first of all.
okay.
But I will share. I think my first initial honest reaction is, the heck, you don't like to read?
Mhm.
But then I take a step back and I realize, hey, that people who don't like to read also look at readers and they're like, what the heck is wrong with you? Like,
Right.
you're always head stuck in a book, like, you're not in the real world. So I think that because we are prioritizing different things, we just, it's a different perspective. It's not right or wrong. I think, though, that people who don't read just haven't found what they truly love yet. If they can find something that connects with them and clicks with them, then they will truly enjoy reading. And I think of it almost like working out. Like, for years, I hated working out and it was just so painful for me to run and go to the gym and do any of that. And it wasn't until I found rock climbing, bouldering, that I actually really love, and it's
Hmm.
something that I like want to wake up early for or stay up late doing. So same goes for reading. If you can find something that you truly love,
Hmm.
you can pick up a book and read. And even if it's not just a book, like an article or a magazine or whatever, I also think of it going back to like childhood. I would like to think that most children are interested in learning and they thrive and they spark up when they learn something new, and a lot of that comes from reading. Like, do you remember reading as a kid?
Hmm.
It was exciting, reading books
Yeah.
like, I remember growing up, like Goosebumps or Nancy Drew or Fear Street. Like, those books were really exciting. So I think there's something elementary and something very fundamentally special about reading and being authentically who you are, or just learning for the first time. So honestly, I think people who don't read, their priorities are a little bit different. They're
Mm.
focused on the world, they're focused on more of what they have to do, obligations, expectations, versus doing something good for them and good for their soul. Because I think reading is a privilege, right? Reading
Yeah.
is, and that's a lot of why we do Eat, Read, Sleep, is because we know that not a lot of people take time to read, but it has helped us out tremendously, especially at a time in our lives when reading saved our lives.
Hmm.
I think that if people can make the time for themselves and focus on themselves and do something to nourish the soul and the mind and the heart by spending time on something that they truly love, and
Hmm.
giving your mind that space to be creative and that space to imagine, I think that would be truly great for just the person in general.
I like
So
that. Yeah.
for people who don't read, maybe if they can prioritize themselves first
Yeah.
and foremost.
I think a lot of time people who don't read, they read. They just think of the book, like the regular reading book, as like a nonfiction, like self-help books or a fiction book, and that's not them. Right? They're
Yeah.
like, oh, I don't want to read that stuff. That's boring. Right?
Yeah. I think they
But they
think
do
that
read.
I think that they think the act of reading is
Yes.
boring.
Yeah.
But if you take that out and you realize that it's not the act of reading, it's actually enriching your
Yeah.
mind and giving your brain space to thrive.
Yeah.
Then
They're
it's
reading. Exactly.
yeah.
Like, I'll give you two examples, right? So my wife would never, ever, you never see her pick up a book and sit there and read it. She would never do that. Whereas I'm always like that on the weekends. I'm always reading my book, right?
Yeah.
But she'll read articles about the latest gossip. This person did that one, and she knew the whole thing because she read the article on TMZ, whatever it might be. And she is a reader because she's reading the whole thing.
Yes.
Not your traditional sense of what we call book reading,
Yeah.
but totally cool. Another example: video games, right?
Yeah.
My daughter loves Roblox. She's addicted. She's 6 years old. I know she should not be playing video games. I get it. But I'm a gamer. She also got that from dad.
Mhm.
But the cool thing, and I was showing this to my wife, like she was playing a game and there's a lot of dialogue happening back and forth between the characters. My daughter is there reading out loud the whole dialogue, like King Harry said this person said, and so she's reading the entire dialogue. And I'm like, she essentially is reading a book, but it's in a
different
format of
yeah.
a video game, right? So I think a lot of times readers who say they don't like to read, they're just not reading. They think of the traditional sense of reading. All right, well that are all the questions I had for you.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. Besides the meltdown that happened just about like 10 minutes ago, but what are your thoughts? Should we do round two, like maybe next year as a tradition?
I think we give it up to our community and see what they say in the comments if they want to see more of this. And absolutely, if you
Yes.
don't, then please let us know as well.
So with everything now, we have 3 cameras here, that one, or that one. Let the people know what we have going on.
Well, yes. So I'm very grateful and thankful as we close the year to kind of reflect back on Eat, Read, Sleep and what it's done for us. I think it's given us time to share our passions with all of you guys. And it's also opened up a lot of networking and relationships as well. We've got to reach out to our community and speak to authors and talk to all of you guys about, you know, how books have changed your life, or what books you guys love to recommend to us. And it's opened up a new door for us. And proud to announce that in January 2023, we will be launching Lions Latitude Public Relations and Productions, LLPR. The main point of this is really to help artists, authors, and aspiring new business owners to have a platform where they can get their voice and their message out. They focus on what's important to them, and we help them with the logistics and the background stuff in order to help them stay authentic to what their message is. So I'll be mainly running the PR part of it, and then Tapas will be running the production part of it.
And it's not to say that we're going to be decreasing any kind of uploads on Avery's Sleeve. We're definitely going to be going headstrong. We already have a couple books lined up for next year that we'll be doing. But this is just me an extension of what our passion is, right? Kalina is very much into the PR side, helping people launch their books or whatever their vision might be. And for me, I love filmmaking, I love production stuff. So it gives me an opportunity to help other people bring out their vision as we're bringing out ours.
Yes.
So.
And then one other big thing that we are working on that I'm actually really, really excited about is a form that we are giving back to the community.
Yes.
So we talk about this all the time, like, great, we're doing what we're doing, but how are we helping other people? So we have started an initiative called Book in Hand Initiative by ERS. And what we've done is we've created these little packets that we are donating and giving to those in need. So it comes with a book, a pair of gloves, and pretty much it's just a way for us to help others read as well. And you know, comes with a bag, twine rope that's really helpful for other uses as well. And these we are going to be donating out into the community. If you would like to help and be a part of this, we would love that so much. If you'd like to make a donation, donate books or gloves, materials, money, whatever it is, please DM and reach out to us. Or you can make these on your own. It's fairly simple.
Yes.
And that's just our way of giving back to the community and making sure that books, reading, knowledge continues to spread across the world.
Yes, so excited for it too. So we'll be launching a website very soon where you guys can get direct links to all these things as well. So stay tuned for that. And then last but not least, let's not forget our merch. We'll be launching this very, very soon. So we'll be fashioning these off, and then we'll be available on our website.
Yes, I'm so excited. We're gonna have some merch, and you guys can rock out with our gear as well. All right, thank you guys so much for being on this episode with us. Happy holidays to you guys. We hope you guys have a great time with your friends and family and that you close out the year safely. Make sure you grab a nice book by the fireplace. Stay warm, stay cozy, and stay hydrated. Yes. Happy holidays, you guys. This is Eat, Read, Sleep. Kalina and Tapas. Take care.
Guys.
Bye.